More food.
Hello and welcome everyone. As sorry about the 11-minute wait on the game. We were talking about food. Yes, welcome to the game, the stream with me, the Dyslexic Gamer, and my players as always, as we carry on our little rogue trader game. I do have a little announcement. So for whatever reason, don't quite know why. Last episode we broke a goal, a target. We had 50 viewers last time. Don't know how this happened. I don't know how I didn't notice it until today. But yeah, we had 50 viewers on the last stream. So thank you all so much for watching. Do leave comments if you don't know what the fuck's going on, or if you don't want to complain. It all helps with my engagement. We do allow swearing in the Discord in the dumbass class. So if you just want to put their prick, you know, it's all interaction. It's fine. So yes, in the last episode, our group had, well, in the previous episode, our group had a meal with the ecclesiarchy and learnt some things, and then they were kicked out of the Sky Tower in the evening and were sent to the pub. At the pub, they met up with Aresnus, the Shield Sister, and they met up with Jake and Damien, the two mechanics, or at least the two top mechanics. One of them is extremely old, and the other one is old, but he still looks young. The group acquired some new quests.
Sorry, Donatus.
I was talking to someone cough.
No, not you, this. We could hear you.
Well, you know, I saw a message. I thought, okay, right.
Now is my time to shine.
Now is my time. Yes, they
Get this highlight of the day.
They acquired some new quests. They, at least some of them, definitely like the Jake Lancer, the much older mechanic, as he is unique. Is a word. But yes, at the end of the last episode, the group were given some more quests. If you have any more questions for the individuals who you are currently sat with, by all means, you can ask them. If not, then you get treated to another meal. Your choice if you want to eat another meal this evening.
I would eat the meal, and I would also try to arrange a meeting to see their workshop and go vault delving.
So you can definitely go. You can definitely go and see the blacksmith, and you can go into the blacksmith's workshop tomorrow. But you can't get into the Sky Tower's underground facilities.
Yeah, we've been told that we can get access to the vault if we help them.
Yeah. At the moment, if you step into the underground facilities, you die.
The automated sensors are all well kicked in there.
So yeah, you can go to the blacksmiths in the morning. You can sit around and have some more drinks with the mechanics and Aresnus. But once the evening is done, you will all be staying in the pub. If you go south on the map, you'll see there is another section where you will be staying. Essentially, you can pick any rooms that you want in there. Doesn't actually make any difference for this episode, but in future episodes, it may be important which rooms you are in. Who knows? So, does anyone have anything they would like to ask, or are you just finishing off your night and starting again in the morrow? Tomorrow.
I don't think there's anything I need to ask at the moment. Not that comes to mind, to be honest. Is there anything they ask of us? Or if there's anything else anyone else has asked?
Not really. There's some. There would be some back and forth conversations. Damon is still kind of with it. The more you talk to him, the more you realise he has mental issues. His dad is more with it, but has, again, his own mental issues to contend with. But overall, they do at least make half-decent conversation lists. But yeah, it will just be, if not, it will just be chatter, mundane chatter about the Imperium, life on this world, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I'm happy enough just to make small talk for now and enjoy another additional light meal. Not that I'm used to, like, it's not like I'm totally not used to having multiple meals. Those fucking nobility shit. But yeah. I'm going to.
You'd probably notice, Heinrich, that the food here is, if what you had with the ecclesiarchy was very much within, so it's not nobility food that you had with the ecclesiarchy. It was more common, more humble. Whereas when you come here, they bring out like different meats with different glazes on, and as you know, maybe just pick as you're having a few drinks. It's good hearty food, but they definitely have a lot of culinary skill, unlike the Izmirians. Not just meat on a stick. And they definitely have the word was on the tip of my tongue and now it's gone. Culinary skills. That's the word I want. They do have culinary skills, and they do seem to have their own flavour palette, which is quite nice. They have seasonings and so on. Quite nice. So,
right.
as you all go off to go to sleep for the evening, I'm just going to move these two over. Oh, God. I didn't put a big enough black screen. There we go. They can just go in there. In the morning, as you all come down for your breakfast, you will note that there's pretty much no one here. It's just a barman, and maybe a bar wench. Who knows? But yeah, you're the only ones who are staying in the pub. So it was a very quiet evening. Yeah, everyone else seems to have a home.
Yeah, funny that.
Small question. I know it's probably too late now, but I would also have mentioned if they had any machines to automate the repair of the armor sets. Of the Sister of Battle.
So when it comes to the armor, it's not that the mechanics can't work on the armor. It's more that there aren't enough mechanics for the work that is already ongoing. And the Sisters of Battle, although you would think they'd be happier with the mechanics, their armor is holy. It is an artifact that's passed down. New suits of armor are being made for the battle sisters. They can't just be relying on the stockpiles of equipment. They don't seem to be too happy with leaving their armor with the mechanics. Or if they were happy with it, the mechanics, again, just don't have time.
There's currently 3 factions in this place, and all 3 of them don't like each other to differing degrees.
So now is the question, which faction will we support? I vote for the one who's a flamethrower.
De Flammenwerfer.
Hans, brengt eens eens vlammenwerfer. Ja, voor probably Morby en Erika brengt ze vlammenwerfer. En display.
Don't forget Waldo.
Waldo?
Listen, we don't want to flame the civilians again, alright?
Oh! I mean, I don't think there are enough civilians here to get him to want to
If
flame
we're
them.
siding with the faction that has flamethrowers, there is no civilians.
There is no innocence, just degrees of guilt.
Yes.
I mean, if we had to side with anyone, I'd say the mechanics.
Fight with mechanics?
But even then, it's probably better for us to just be the full
I
faction.
mean, the mechanics will just die out on their own, so...
They're all going to die out on their own if we don't intervene, because they're all too busy at each other's fucking neck.
Well, I mean, the mechanics are having trouble making new mechanics, so...
Yes.
They are indeed.
And I meant making in the sense of training.
I mean,
No,
both,
they don't.
both actually do count. Making and training.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
Because of the augmentations, yeah.
They don't re-cloning VATs. Oh, sorry, not cloning VATs.
Vita
We
wounds.
know you mean they're not banging enough.
Alright, do we have to implement breeding programs now? Is that what you're trying to get at, Albie? I take his silence as guilt.
What did you say exactly? I couldn't...
So you're is this your roundabout way of asking us to implement breeding programs?
I mean, we have Princess Village, which we need to ramp up. We need slaves for the mines. I mean, I'm honest here. I do have an action point to improve Princess Village breeding. We need slaves.
I know.
I've written it down as such in my note.
Why do you keep calling them incest?
Well, they are incest, and incest is incest. Embrace the meme.
You know, the only thing I have in the notes here that I can see is full-scale planet-wide cat-girl harem and Rimworld hog and harvesting farm. So, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
the
party's,
Adeptus Felonit or somewhere else.
party's goals and plans haven't been updated in quite some time.
No.
I mean,
worldwide,
they haven't
the planet-wide Catgirl harem is still a dream.
I
Thank you very
didn't say
much.
it wasn't still applicable. It just hasn't been updated in some time.
Our goals have not really changed. We still want the planet-wide Catgirl harem.
Yeah. Why change the plan if you don't have to?
Don't break what's not fixed.
Precisely.
Ew.
I mean, my ambitions. Oh yeah. Did we ever work on Orica farm with the
Hold on.
seconds?
Hold on. You say you, but you're the one that made a furry planet, okay?
Well, I didn't make any of them attractive. I wasn't like, oh yeah, look at that cat girl. She's stunning. No, it's
Hey,
they're all kind of.
Hey,
you have described at least two of the furries as attractive. That's two
Yeah,
more than you should have.
Okay, like Muttermouth's wife is not unattractive, but it still looks like a fox. It's not. No.
like this. The sooner you accept that we know that you're a furry, the easier this is going to be.
Never. I will never go down that route of degeneracy.
You never come out of the closet that way.
I mean, he doesn't have to go down that road. He's already at the destination. I'm sorry, this.
Oh, you fucking bastard. Oh, I should be insulted, but I'm not. I find it funny.
It's all in good spirits.
Yeah, I know it is. So yeah, the group's plan on ferrydom seems to still be in place. So you've all come down. You've all had a breakfast. With the recaf farm, you haven't started it yet, but you have put in farm plots. So you have got your farming started at Izmir.
Yeah.
You really just need to bring some either recaf plants if you dig them up, or grow the seeds.
We also had like the ideas for how do you call the irrigation.
Yes.
Your irrigation plans still just need to go in as well.
You have, because of the fountain that's now working, you do have a water source in Izmir. So technically you just need to go from Izmir to the farm plots now, rather than from the river to the farm plots. But yeah,
that's even easier then.
You do have things are in motion at Izmir. But as you come down, you do actually get a pot of recaf placed on the table. Fried eggs. There's a type of fried meat. You imagine it's herd beast. As well as some of the bread rolls that you were served with the ecclesiarchy. The barman informs you that the blacksmith has been informed. He will be waiting for you to show you what's going on there. You're also allowed to wander the town freely. He just tells you that don't mind that the Shield Sisters will be keeping an eye on you at all times, pretty much.
I have a grin on my face. Oh no. No, not a problem at all.
So once you guys have had your breakfast, do you want to take a walk around town first, or go straight to the blacksmith's workshop?
I don't mind going for a walk around town first, or Trey, do you want to beeline it to the blacksmiths, or?
I mean, we can wake up a bit earlier to do the walk.
You are very quiet now.
We can wake up a bit earlier to do the walk.
I heard that, but you are still very quiet, Albie. So as you guys leave the pub, you have a quick wander around the square. It's surprisingly busy. Again, there's a massive disparity between men and women. Women are in far higher numbers than men. But there are still some men who are taking on more traditional roles. They're farmers, they're workers, laborers, blah, blah. They're doing repairs on the houses and on the roofs and keeping everything well maintained. But there are still an awful lot of women who are doing these jobs as well. As you walk around again, you do see that the community is technically doing quite well, in the fact that you do see children. It's just a certain age group of children are completely missing. We're probably talking middle school, so from maybe 7 years old up to 15, 16 are just missing. They aren't there. You can see the women, the girls who are now teenagers, but the boys, much smaller number. However, all the people are well dressed. Their clothing is manufactured. They're not wearing like hemp clothing or things like that. It is plant based, but it is manufactured. It has been woven. It has been properly. The material has been properly made. Unlike Izmir, where they basically wore whatever they could skin.
Fair enough.
Again, you do see children playing as well, which is a bit of an oddity. on this world at the very least. Izmir does have some children, but they're kind of inbred and fucked up. Whereas here you do see children running around playing, and you know from what you now know, if the ecclesiarchy was not here, this would be a thriving settlement. It's just the ecclesiarchy have kind of fucked things up. You do notice that a lot of the houses have small farming plots next to them. So it seems as if every house does produce some food to a lesser or more degree. You do see some plants that are a bit odd, that you haven't really seen before. There's a grass type plant that is in most people's gardens. Yeah, I would call it a grass-like plant with heavy seeds burdening the grass itself. And the people, whereas first they really were a bit suspicious of you, now they do seem more curious than suspicious. And wherever, like, if you guys are walking along and you start, like, looking at the buildings or looking, you do notice that people do stop, give you guys a little stare, have a little gossip, but there's nothing... It's not...
Not malicious.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It's not malicious, it's just curiosity.
It's a curiosity kind of thing,
Yeah.
more so than...
It's not like if you go to Germany or India, they're not just stood staring straight into your soul and you're stare. You know, it's a British. They have a little look and a gossip and a little ooh, okay, and then they move on.
It's a foreigner.
Trust me, go to Germany, they stare like fucking nothing you've ever seen. Like, they will stand right in front of you and stare deep into your soul. And you're like, oh my god, can you stop staring?
That might not have to do with them being German.
No, so, as far as I'm aware, the Germans are big starers, and so are the Indians. They love a good stare. They love to just stand there and stare at you. Which, it's not, it's just a cultural difference. But...
How a German we can ask?
I am.
Oh yeah, you as well.
I mean, I am a swamp German. I'm not a proper German.
Well, I'm a traitor, so I can't really... You know, 2 world wars and...
Well,
I
I
can't
mean,
say 1 world
the
war.
last proper German was like 4 or 6 generations ago, if not more. Like, we were on the good side of the war, that's all that matters.
I was on both. I had a foot in either camp, and it's not exactly... Luckily, I will put out there...
We were killing the Nazis.
I will put out there, my grandfather was not a member of the Nazi party, so you can't call me a Nazi, although many people do. Yeah. My granddad, just to
What
put
did
this
we
in...
learn in 2022? Oh, sorry, 2023. This is a Nazi.
Bastard. Just to... My granddad... Is it my granddad? Yeah, my granddad, on my German side, actually met Hitler. And he tried to shake my granddad's hand, and he refused. Because my granddad, amazingly enough, which shocked the living fuck out of me, really liked the Jews. He had a shitload of Jewish friends who all disappeared, and he wasn't very happy about it. Like, the more you know, at least I wasn't on the other side of that fence, you know. It could have been worse. So, as you've explored the town, we'll get back to the game and not my history and degeneracy, which seems to be a big focus of these games, but never mind. You kind of had a little
RPG / let's explore this psyche.
Let's
is family
explore his
history.
degeneracy. But you've had a basically a quick explore around the main area, and as you come round to an area that looks like it's going to be the blacksmith's workshop, it is indeed. He sees you, blatantly knows who you are, and he comes over to you. He greets you warmly. He is a man, funnily enough. And he tells you that Eresnus has told him to show you around. He looks at Cray. He doesn't give an acknowledgement of, oh, for fuck's sake, but he does seem to be a bit more cautious. So his building is a typical medieval blacksmith's forge. He takes you straight through there and doesn't even look at anything within the blacksmith's forge. He goes into the building, opens up a door, and gestures for you all to follow him. You go down a staircase, and then once you've got to the bottom of the staircase, there is a sliding electrical door. He runs his hand over the door frame, and the door slides open. Inside Cray is a fully equipped workshop. It has a workbench, a vice and anvil for primitive work, a mono forge for adding monomolecular sharpness to blades. That is currently offline. He has a milling table for milling, cutting down metal components to shape them, which is offline. He has a wood lathe, which is obviously online. He has a metal lathe for creating precision metal components. It's currently offline and has no power.
But why would you have a lathe made out of wood?
A wood lathe.
No, a lathe to cut wood.
I know, I'm joking.
A wood lathe.
You never know.
So for all the primitive stuff, you gain a +10. So anything you decide to make here, you'll get a +10 if it's primitive. You can also make advanced components here. There's no +10, but technically, Cray, if you powered this location up, you could make firearms.
I approve.
As you look at, you've gone round all the equipment, you've checked it all out, and it's all in. And again, Cray, you would, as a mechanicus, would be well aware of this. It is well used, but in really good condition. Everything's clean. All the components that should be oiled have a nice layer of oil on them. Not too much, not too little. Everything is just in good condition, which for this world is kind of surprising. And you kind of look back at the blacksmith like, huh? Well, you were a blacksmith. And as you walk round, there are a number of other tools and components. So you obviously have all the metalworking, woodworking, stoneworking tools that you could want, but there are also molds. There are bullet case molds. Sorry, not bullet case, bullet molds. Yeah. For some reason I thought a bullet was called something different. Yeah. For pouring in lead to make bullets, they have the molds for them. They don't seem to have been used in a while. But as you move around, you'd also notice that they do actually have everything to make bullets.
An ammo press?
Yep. They can literally make the brass cartridges.
Fucking hell, alright.
Unfortunately, it's all offline.
Funny that.
Yeah, it is. Funny that there's a quest about power and the stuff that you may want to use is all offline. Oh.
Intriguing.
As the blacksmith, I'm gonna add on that you guys, look around, request what kind of things they have here. They can make steel. They can make brass. They need the ores to do it. They don't have ore supply here. They have leather as a working material because they have herd animals. They have food. They can provide simple components. They have average components. Average components are what you would use for making guns and vehicle components. Let me just double check that. Let me just double check what I've said. So simple components, gears and simple mechanics, advanced components, IG, items, weapon parts, and vehicle parts. Yeah, they can't do complex. What you would notice that they have up and ready to use, they have all primitive weapons and all primitive armors. Technically, if you power the location up, you can get common slug guns, pistols, and basics, as well as common ammunition. They have 2 suits of feudal plate that are fully constructed and are on armor stands. It would take some time for them to refit them.
What on armor stands?
A feudal plate.
Oh.
It would take a couple of weeks for them to make it fit you perfectly, but they can and do have feudal plate. They do and can have. They can make and do have feudal plate. But again, steel is kind of at a premium.
Yes. Understandable. Okay. What were the ores that Izmir got a hold of?
Iron and other ores. I believe they had copper. I believe they had some mercury. I believe they had some tin. Yeah, tin, iron, copper, mercury.
Okay.
There may be another one that I'm missing.
Yeah.
Or they just haven't actually, they didn't know what the fuck it was, so they just left it there.
Yeah. So that's actually in their local mines, right?
Yes.
Okay. So he's just showing us around at the moment. He's just kind of like, oh, this thing is where we can make bullets. Can't do that. This thing is where we lathe things. Can't do that. But I can't do that one.
Well,
Basically.
it's more Cray is just gone off and just been like, ooh, shiny, and wandered round. And then maybe the blacksmith's taken you and Cooney round and gone, here's a lathe, but it's offline here,
It's offline. Okay. And sorry, just to recap, they can divert power to this place, but they currently can't because they're just having issues with the shield being either being up or down.
Yeah,
that's the primary one.
Yeah, so power has been cut from this location, so they can put it all into powering the shields, into charging the shields.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I take it you really miss having the actual powered facility.
He sighs heavily. You can tell in his face. Yes, he does. So there's also other blacksmithing tools. Sorry, I completely forgot about this. So there would be things like a power hammer.
Yeah, like there's a full blacksmith's kit, suite, like not just like the medieval one. It's like a full actual modern blacksmith.
Yeah, they've got the upstairs is kind of just for show, just for look, here's how quaint they make swords with a forge and a hammer. Whereas actually they come downstairs and they have like grinders and they have everything that they need.
Yeah. Belt sander and fucking
Exactly.
arc welder and
Yeah, pretty much.
that's a good question. They have like basically all the tools we would need to make like to properly reinforce actual gear.
Yeah, if Cray wanted to, he could spend 2 months here and build you a car. It would
Don't
probably
forget to slap on half of that for incense and chanting tax.
Okay, maybe 4 months. So he could do it. He could do it. It would just take him some time.
Fair enough. Okay. While Cray is off footering about with certain materials and stuff, I was like, I'm wondering if we could make some form of temporary solution. Maybe not a permanent measure, but maybe something that get you at least partially powered back on. But what? Just like I'm going business mode. Like, what are like the power costs and such here at the moment? Like, what's the actual like power drain and shit? If he does know that, I'm kind of trying to puff it up a wee bit, just make it sound as if I know more than I'm letting on. So like what is the actual power cost? What's the like how much are you operating all at once? And
Hello.
Law.
wow, you're
Let me
All right.
give him a roll to see how intelligent he is. He's going to use his only fortune point.
That's a good fucking sign.
Oh, well, he got 19 lower, but he shrugs. He went from an 89 to a 70. He kind of shrugs. I don't know what the exact power is. All I know is I ain't allowed to have any.
Right. Aldi, how much did you miss, by the way? Because I know you were deaf and muted.
Nothing, just my mic fucking up.
Oh, okay. Fair enough then. Right. What was the... sorry, I thought I had this written down. Where the fuck is... What was the Shield sister's name? And is she here? Or are they waiting for us outside?
Resmus
yeah.
was not in the pub, and you haven't seen her as you did your walk around. You saw a load of Shield sisters, but you didn't see a Resmus.
Yeah, because they're kind of watching us. Are there any like outside or inside with us, or are they just like watching us from afar?
No, they're just watching like as the patrols go around. Like unlike when you first got here, and they were literally stood outside the pub when you were talking to Resmus. That stopped. They just, as you see them on their patrols, you'll notice that they look over at you. Maybe they stop for a little bit, but then they carry on their patrols.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. After I try to like make a little minor conversation with the blacksmith, I'll all right, I don't know, Cooney, distract him, and I'll kind of move off to Cray real quick.
Quick, jazz hands.
Quick, jazz hands.
Show him my feet.
So, just a quick question: do you look at my feet? Do you actually want a distraction, or is it just
no? Just
okay.
Just so he doesn't like approach and like overhear what I'm trying to say to Cray.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm sure Cooney can come up with something, or how would you do this?
I'll literally just take out one of my bullets and be like, "What do you think about this? And can you make one? Can you make more of these and see if that spikes as you?"
Oh, the what?
My gun bullets, basically.
Oh, okay.
You drop a round ball into his hand. Can you make these? It's like, what the fuck is it?
It's a ball.
Ammo, man. Come on.
So when I approached Cray, I was like, right. Do you think we could? Do you think we should or could power this place up temporarily with the perpetual motion machine?
me good, but I would like. I wouldn't use it just yet. I would first try and improve the power
Yeah, but
generator.
if we are able to, my thinking is if we offer an improvement here first, we can curry favor with both the locals and the sororitas if we can talk the blacksmith into assisting with improvements to 1 or 2 suits at a time.
Oh, so you don't need this facility to do the Sisters of Battle armor quest.
Oh no, they just need power. They don't really need actually
so
proper repairs.
the Sisters of Battle, all they need really is for a tech priest to do proper maintenance on their armor and to charge their power packs.
Yes, they don't need to know.
So this is a bit technically. Cray could build an adapter that would allow them to charge up their power packs, but currently there's sorry, that was my phone. There's a couple of 1,000 years difference between the power adapters. So this place power adapters is the original iPhone adapter, whereas they're currently the Imperium is using the newest iPhone adapter. That's pretty much.
Okay, you're fucking saying the Imperium of Man use lightning chargers.
Well, no, just as an example, Cray could build an adapter to allow the Archaeotech power facilities of this place to charge the Sisters of Battle power packs. But because they have no idea how to do it, and the mechanics apparently can't do it, or won't do it, or haven't been asked to do it, they can't. Yeah, the sisters can't charge their own power packs. As for the repairs, Cray just needs to spend time doing the repairs.
Right.
So that one is basically you and Cooney can spend time at the training facility training up minions to be better, whilst Cray is doing 2 weeks of maintenance on power armor, taking it all apart, cleaning all the servos, all the
right. Okay.
But again, because the power armor of the Sisters of Battle is seen as a holy relic, and as like you mentioned earlier, there are factions in this place. Do you want to tell one of the factions that your armor's obsolete because it can't move?
Yeah.
No, you want them to believe that you are as strong and powerful as possible.
So I do think siding the Sisters of Battle is going to be like the best one. Siding the Sisters of Battle, if like at least having them as the primary faction. But I'm 99% sure we can work with all of them. Like having like your idea there, Jim, of being like the fourth faction, having us as the unifying factor should hopefully, help.
That's honestly what I want, because if we take if we take a hold of this place and we become the leading faction, technically then I can remove my helmet and actually eat something.
You can do that in the pub. Like, you've already taken your helmet off in the pub. You did it the first time you were in the town.
Oh yeah, true.
So
but
the locals don't actually give a fuck that you're weird looking. They have fetish on the world. They're not bothered by it. It's the Imperials who will really be offended by your presence.
Oh yeah,
the
locals don't have generations of anti-Xenos propaganda put in their head. Don't forget.
To be fair, I will give they do have a generation or two. It's been like 19 years that the ecclesiarchy has been here. But most of them are like, yeah, but we've got old stories about things that don't look like humans that were really cool. So, because again, they've got stories of fetids who are, in the halls of heroes because they were a slave, yes, but they were a slave of such amazing goodness They got their own statue, or they got their own, hologram. So yeah, with Cooney and the Shield Sisters, you're all right. It's just not the Battle Sisters. They might take umbrage. Heinrich can only do so much.
I'm just thinking, with the Battle Sisters, currently, they will want my head. With the Ecclesiarchy, they will want my head, so...
Yeah.
You are protected because they need Heinrich more than they need your head. Basically.
Yeah. With that agreement at the start of when we first arrived here, they know you're in my retinue, so, like, oh... fuck, if we kill one of the guys like in his retinue, he's going to be pissed off, and we need him to get off planet.
And technically, so I know the Magos that you met knows that you're a Tau. He's a Magos Dominus, but he's a high up Magos. He knows that you're a Tau. He doesn't really give a fuck. He'd like to dissect you. I'm sure lots of the tech priests would love to dissect you and your armor and your weapons, but they're not like, right, she needs to die. The Ecclesiarchy definitely would want you dead, but they need Heinrich. So because of Heinrich, they're not going to hurt you, Cooney. They're just not going to be nice to you.
That does not mean flaunted.
Again, I'm more comfortable with us being powered and not liking me, but being powerless to do anything, and they're not being able to do anything to me because they need Heinrich.
No, I do understand. I do get it.
Okay. Well, Trey, do you want to try and work on one of those adapters? Because if we want to get if we want to try and get
that was the plan.
One side first.
That and the power generator.
Yeah. So I think.
I mean, I would like to inspect the power generator thingy.
Yeah, we're able to do that today,
unfortunately,
right?
Cray, you aren't allowed to see the power generator because that's underground.
Oh fuck yeah! No, we have to discuss the details with the fucking Ecclesiarchy.
So for the power drain, which is the quest, essentially you need to convince Ordleth or the sisters, however you want to go about it. You need to convince him that he's being a dickhead and he needs to shut down the shields. That you just need to explain it to him that an hour is not that long. He doesn't know about orbital combat. He doesn't know about fucking combat. He wants to raise the shields like that. Click of the finger, raise the shields. Whereas even a planetary, at the Imperium's planetary, not planetary, but a hive city, its main shields do not come on just by clicking a finger. It takes time for that shit to get turned on and powered up, and he's just a young fucking idiot.
I mean, the thing is,
he's in a station he shouldn't be in. He doesn't have the proper experience to be in that station.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't have the lived experience for the station. He's been thrust himself into that situation too soon.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I see it is, technically, there is an easy way for us to fix that and make him a little bit more docile. And that is just to pacify the regions around him and just say, look, we pacified the regions around. Stop being a fuckwit.
Again, that is a complete option, to go and explore and to let him know that you've searched the area. There's nothing dangerous here or in the immediate vicinity. That's completely worthwhile way to go. But yeah, that's how you're going to affect the power systems. You just need to get Ordleth or the Battle Sisters to push so you need to get Ordleth to just realise he's being an idiot, or you need to get the Battle Sisters to really stand up and go, no, we are the military here. Whoever says it is correct. We're the ones who know how to fight. You don't, so shut the fuck up and do what we say. Turn the shields off. Or, turn the generator off. The capacitor. But if Cray wants to work on an adapter, that is entirely possible. To make the adapter, Cray, you need Imperial technology and Archaeotech technology. Components are what I'm more looking for. So you've got lasguns. Lasguns would give you some of the technology needed. In fact, I would probably say that a lasgun, like a few lasguns, might be all the technology you need to make an adapter. I think, because a lasgun power pack literally must, a way to charge it. A lasgun must have a way for it to be positive to negative. So yeah, I would.
Assuming electricity is still electricity in 40k.
How the fuck did your mic do that again?
You went quiet again. No, I honestly think that a couple of lasguns would probably give you the components you would need. I'm just trying to think if there'd be anything. You might need some Archaeotech components, because you've obviously got to go from Imperial to Archaeotech. You might need to scavenge a couple of components. So if you have some Archaeotech components or some Archaeotech technology that you could take apart.
Which I think you do.
Yeah, I would say if you've got some Archaeotech components or something Archaeotech you want to basically destroy and salvage items from, you could. The lasguns would also work. I'll just jump out there now. I know you can get like your Archaeotech facility, your base. There was broken Archaeotech in that facility, so technically you could go back to your Archaeotech facility and maybe salvage some components. They may even have some components here if you can persuade some people to hand them over.
Sorry.
If you want to do part of a quest for the sisters, you probably can if you've got the components on you to build the adapter. If you want to go and talk to Ordlif, you can do that quest right now. You have a quest that you could do.
The other quest was...
Technically, you could do Lost Honor. You could go and find some Sisters of Battle relics.
Yeah.
The slow-moving armor, you can do part of that quest.
This the Archaeotech stuff, we could, like you said, go back to the first facility and take a look for some of the scrappable stuff there to bring out. I think power issues is one of the ones we need to pick first.
Agree.
BRB, I would go for the adapter with the salvaged lasguns.
Okay, all with the base. I would probably imagine, Cray, that you don't want to break any of your Archaeotech stuff. So you'd probably want to go and salvage some stuff back at the Archaeotech facility. Just as a tech priest. I'd imagine you'd rather salvage some broken shit than go after and break something that's usable.
Oh no! Break some shit.
What at the battlefield down south? Nothing there. Ooh, good question. We could go back down south to see if there's anything there again.
We could.
Is the blacksmith looking for any specific types of ore or anything like that?
Yeah, he would basically accept any ore. So I completely I forgot to mention this for some dumb reason, but I did. So there is a electrical powered smelter in the workshop as well, so that he can literally smelt the ores electronically and have, again, if you're making steel, he can make steel electronically. So it's
Okay.
literally going on, and I want high tensile steel, which has that percentage of carbon in it, and has that. He can make that type of steel. So any ores that can be provided, he'd happily accept. There is actually a quest which is supplements and manpower. The Sky Tower needs resources and manpower. So that would be another quest if you can set up a supply chain.
That's what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking. What can we get in exchange for the Izmirians though? So what is it like he is able to trade for ore?
So he himself can supply any of the crafts that he makes. So almost any primitive weapons that he has, he could provide to you if you can provide a serious. Oh yes, you were coming through quite nicely, Albie. Again, we're not quiet. You're quite beautiful.
Can you show us the world map for a second?
So hang on, just before there is another quest.
You keep forgetting quests.
There is another quest. It's part of the supplement and resources and providing archaeotech components for I want to say Jack. It's not Jack. It's Jake, because his quest is fix up. So Jake needs archaeotech components to fix the Sky Tower. There are 3 lost villages. They may have some components. So if you see some, I believe they're green circles on the map, they're going to be the lost villages. They can't guarantee.
These ones. Oh,
I believe it's green. Oh no, I actually put them down as lost villages. You'll see them on the map.
So that one there, that green map up there was the Tech Priest.
Yeah, that's the Tech Priest quest. So yeah, they are still green because they're quests, but I did put them down as Lost Village 1, 2, and 3. These villages did not have shields. They didn't have any way for them to be protected. So the chances of there being stuff actually there is low. Like survivors is really low.
Yeah.
For advanced technology, it is low, but there is a possibility that there are some things to salvage.
I'm thinking we do that trek there. How far can we travel in a day?
4 squares.
No,
that's on foot.
The servo car is 64 in a day, 64 miles.
So we can get there in 1 day.
You know what?
And
I'm hoping
we could get to there and then back home again ish. One more?
No, 64.
Yeah,
exactly.
So we could get back to Izmir. We could do a 3-day trip back to Izmir.
Honestly, I think this should be a route. If we establish a base camp over here, or in the middle spot,
Yeah.
we can just connect and make basically a highway.
Yeah, it could be. It keeps us away from this bit here, which we did get. We had a possible combat encounter down here when we were scouting the wreckage. So
In theory, too, we're exactly 64 meters from the.
Going too far from the woods, though, is a little bit too sketchy. So if we could get to here, if we can clear this area and make sure it's actually safe, and if we could establish an outpost, and then get to here, possibly establish an outpost here, and then back to Izmir, that is a trade route. That is 100% a fucking trade route.
Yeah, the thing is, if we get linked up with the furries again, we're technically solid gold again. It's
So keep in mind,
perfect route.
traveling through woods is a lot slower because you're in a car. So
you can push that a little bit. There's only a little bit there.
it's going to be difficult getting a car through the forests without literally cutting a path for it to travel.
We have an indentured servant population.
I'm not saying you
I'm being careful with my language. I don't want to get cancelled again.
I'm not saying you can't.
You can't say slaves in this household.
Yeah, I've almost attempted to get cancelled many times. I'm like, man, I might as well. I would probably put it, if you went down here, you're avoiding the woodland areas altogether. Because again, if you travel through the woods or you travel through the hills, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to move the same amount of squares. So it is, hang on, 16 plus.
Yeah, you can do. Actually, that is exactly
your
more or less it.
Like give or take, you can get there.
No, okay, from like there.
It's like a.
There's the point trees.
It's like a square off. You can and you have travelled at night before in the car, so you can push it. It's not.
I think if you go one more square up, like there, that if you move,
because it's
if you go to like there, that's actually not that far into the bushes itself.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Where you've put your marker is directly in.
Yeah.
The forest. That will slow you down.
If you move it to that one there, that's literally just bordering the forest. So that would be perfect.
Yeah.
And that would be and then from there again, from there we can more or less get to Izmir.
Let me make a nice square.
You traveling like an hour as the sun set, because normally you wanna make camp just before sun sets. So that's how the day is set up. So when you're going back to Izmir or going back to the Sky Tower, if you're traveling for an extra hour as the sun sets, that's the hour that you'd be making camp. That's not a problem.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. Yeah, so you can push it an extra hour if you're going somewhere decent.
Yeah, as long as you're going into a town or a village, you're fine, because when you get there,
you know what?
Shelter's provided.
You know what? Hang on. That's what 1, 2, 3 day trek. Oh, sorry. No, I had a button over you. What was that, Albie? Albie?
Yeah, I was going to ask, how hard would it be to make a road laying car servitor thingy that I can let run by the Winchesters?
If you had a workforce of servitors,
Winchester,
they could make a road. If you had, I would probably put it at like, well, realistically, it'd be hundreds. But game-wise, if you had 15 monotask servitors, and then you had 5 multitask servitors, they could literally work 24 hours a day to build a road. And you'd have the monotask servitors getting the stones, cutting the stones into a predetermined shape, and then the multitask servitors could go pick up the stones, like the bricks, cobbles, and then they could work on setting the road up. Yeah, you could do that. It might take a couple of months, don't get me wrong, but if you're also upgrading your own people, like Jim and Geddy, Cooney and Heinrich are training their people at the Sky Tower. Cray is working on the Battle Sisters power armor, and the servitors are building the road. You could have that all lined up so it's all happening at the same time.
I just realized, where the hell are our inbreds?
They're outside.
We brought 2 with us.
We did. They're with the,
They
they're
are
with the car.
outside.
Yeah, they're with the car. They weren't. They could enter if they wanted, but they kind of got the idea when one of them got beaten with a stick that maybe they shouldn't.
Fair enough. It just occurred to me, like, hang on, where the fuck did they go?
Yeah, they're with the car. And as for
If they were
servitors,
redemption.
you have 2 options, Cray. The Screaming Valleys, where you found a shitload of servitors that you could get components from,
Yeah.
or the Adeptus Mechanicus. So you can buy components, technically, or you can salvage them. It's players'
I'll
this-
salvage them.
What's this forest like at the moment? So is it as dense as this one up here?
So the forest on the outskirts is not nearly as dense, but once you go further in, it does get a lot denser.
So that path is all right.
That path's fine because you're cutting the outskirts of it, and around, so particularly around here, the Sky Tower, they have deforested quite a lot.
Okay.
They have. Unlike the Fetits, who are using the forest as a defensive works, the Sky Tower isn't.
Yeah, but the Sky Towers rely on their equipment, whereas the Fetids are relying on kind of stealth as well as
they're relying on the planet itself to help them. Whereas the Sky Tower, like, burn it, chop it down, and build houses.
So from there to there.
Nope.
That's.
I think where we're going next.
We could So I'm just thinking, like, if we can reestablish these villages as well, that itself is a 2-day trip. But there's also the potential of having a small rest spot here that will allow it for back and forth travel. But
I mean,
is that the area that was potential spot for Prometheum?
I do believe so.
There you don't know. That would be a so the other one was in a swamp.
Yeah.
That area is a fuck. What is it when
No, sorry, no. I'm thinking of down here. They were able to pull Prometheum from these vehicles. That's what it was. No, to my head it was south of the Sky Tower, and then I saw the village and went, oh, hang on, was it there? No, there was a section over here where they were able to pull Prometheum from the vehicles.
So if you so what they can tell you, because they did say that they know of these villages.
Scared the shit out of my dog.
So Lost Village 3, we'll go backwards for some reason. Lost Village 3 was much like Prim, it was a fishing village on an island. But they tell you that the island expanded to the mainland. So it's a mainland town and an island town.
Right, okay.
Village 2 was a resource town. It was more in the hilly area, and it was originally designed for resources and fishing, because within a day you can get to the mountains. There are the hills, and there's obviously all the fishing. Village 1 was there for agriculture and for farming, but agriculture is farming. But they had more herd beasts, more animal husbandry. That's the word I'm looking for. So this was Lost Village 1 was more of the grain, the food village. The other 2 villages supplied fish, which could also be turned into glue and other resources. The village 2 was more of a mining-esque village, whereas village 3 was fishing. There's some other resources there. They also were the closest village to the to the main settlement of this world, the quote-unquote hive city. A few other resources.
Trade. So one was agriculture.
2 was mining, and
Mining resources.
Can we do left to right so it's easier?
no, I'm doing.
I'm
gonna go
I'm
1, 3, and 2.
I'm gonna label these. So
You can
So
just
this-
put lost, village 3, village 2, village 1.
yeah. So that's fishing and trading because it was the closest to the actual settlement. That is mining and fishing, or mining and additional resources, and this was their agriculture. All right.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
But,
Is that how
village-
we're labeling?
Village 3
Yep.
also had a so it's an island village, but it also has a mainland port. They're connected by the sea.
Which one? Sorry.
3.
3. Yeah. I have it down as fishing, trade, and port. I have that in my own personal notes. Hang on. Sorry. That's where.
I'm just placing a number on the thing so it's easier.
No, that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, but Jim,
Where
hang on,
is-
whoa, ah, motherfucker, what are you cunting fucking? Oh, I know why. Oh shit, it's because they're on the wrong section. Right, remove those numbers.
No.
I put them on the wrong. No, hang on. No, wait. Wait, what the fuck? Hang on a minute. No, don't do that. Lost Village. Why are you not showing your name? I only just realised this. It's not actually showing his fucking name. Joe name.
Do you have them on the right? Do you have them on the? You have them on the object layer, I think.
Hang on a minute. What layer should they be on for you to see them? Token layer.
Yeah,
No, but they're on the token layer.
they're on the token layer.
Yeah.
Hang on, double click them. See if it's a reveal name. If you have it as an actual token, like it has a journal entry and whatever else, it might default to the preset.
Oh, for God's sake, you got to fucking click so many fucking
Yeah.
options in this bastard fucking.
They've changed it where they've tried to fix something and they end up breaking it.
Yeah, I've noticed.
You know what? I'm still gonna leave the numbers
You
because those
bastard.
names are super tiny.
I named all of them, you prick. They all have names
Well,
and
you didn't have them named initially.
numbers.
Going back and fixing your mistake now is not going to fucking help things.
Bastard. But yeah, they do have
keeping my
numbers, and
numbers.
it does go counterclockwise, so it's 1, 2,
Okay.
3.
I mean, Village 1, we will rename these things eventually. So
Yes.
I do think we stick to this route real quick. So,
Let's go to Village 1. We'll check it out, take it over, make it safe.
look to this place here to see what we can do. Settlement wise.
I mean, in theory, even if it's just a small outpost, we could, in theory, ask the Fatids to manage an outpost over here for us too.
Potentially, if they go back and reclaim Emperor Sanctum, because they can move through the woods much faster, it's possible that we can have trade with the Fetids property again.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Especially
Yeah.
since we can technically pump them full of point juice too, right?
Oh no, the Izmir is the ones we need to pump full of ploin.
Oh, didn't we sell booze to the Fetids?
We did sell booze to them. It was just it's not as good as the stuff they had like in storage or something.
No. So the Fetids don't drink. They
Yeah,
haven't
it was-
actually developed an alcohol system. They make alcohol for cleaning wounds,
Yeah.
but that was the Archaeotech facility. It was a medical thing. So they had never developed
I will
the
be right back.
the connoisseurship of drinking and of enjoying a little dribble. You did sell them some alcohol in the hopes that alcoholism would take a hold. You haven't been back since. Why is Prim? So I've just noticed Prim doesn't have a colour showing. And I fucking went through and gave every faction a fucking colour. And I'm like, why? Why does Prim... That one. Why do you not have your purple colour, you prick? Fucking what? Hang on. There's a lightning layer? Lighting layer. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore my dyslexic brain. Fuck. Why aren't you showing the colour then? Oh, I know why. Because I didn't pick the fucking C option. There we go. There we go. So yeah, the faction colours are the Fetits are purple, the Imperial Ecclesiarchy is yellow, and the Mechanicus is red.
The Ecclesiarchy is not showing.
Yeah, it is. It is on the Soon Raccoon, the Soon Raccoons screen. I gotta be careful when I say that. I don't want to be tongue-tied.
You mean over here to the Sky Tower, right?
Yeah, the Sky Tower is yellow because it's the Ecclesiarchy. It's
Oh, sorry. It's just that yellow blends with the background.
yeah,
Sorry.
The red circle are what you guys added. When I described roughly where Archaeotech facilities were, you guys put circles in the areas that you thought they were. And as the game's gone on, I've moved the circles to be directly on the spots.
No, gotcha. It's just
That's where I thought, like, holy shit, I got that one perfect. Holy crap! And then went, no, I moved it and said, you fucker, my hopes, my dreams.
Yeah,
it's just that yellow. I actually thought was blending with the background a little bit. So that's my bad.
No worries. It happens. So, as for what you guys are going to do, more than likely in the next episode, you're going to go to Lost Village 1, and then you're going to head back to Izmir?
Yes.
We're going to Village Bob.
You want to call
Village
it Bob?
No, we're not calling it Bob. Fuck's sake. Enough Bobs. There's Jenkins in this bitch now.
Leroy.
Jeff and Chris
The
with Jenkins.
Village of Leroy! We'll get
Village 2 can be Leroy. Village 1 can be Jenkins. There we
there.
go.
The Village of Mario!
So Village 3 is Let's Go. Village 2 is Leroy. Village 1 is Jenkins.
So no. Let's make it Village 3. Let's. No, sorry. Let's Village 2. And 3. Go. So
and then this little fucking
let's.
outpost here will be Mario.
It's me, Mario!
Sorry, it's a me. Hey, Mario.
It's a me, a Mario. Skedaddle skedoodle.
So sure, I will point out there is a reason why I'm saying in the next episode, because I only made Village 3 as a map.
Oh, fair enough. No, fair enough. In the meantime, I don't mind.
The thing is, I've got written down on the map section with a map which is blank for Village 1, Village 2, but Village 3 was the only one that I could actually make with the maps that I had available. I was like, how do I make Village? Village 3 I could do. Village 3 is easy, I could do that.
I gotta get you Dungeon Alchemist, buddy.
No, the thing is, I've got Dungeon
Painter is
it Dungeon Painter? I've got one of them, which is just for making maps, but I found it really difficult to use. Which one was it?
I have Dungeon Painter, which is it's very fittery, and it's very much based on the shit you can download that people are making for it. Because the stock standard stuff is very generic fantasy stuff only.
I mean, I'm liking Dungeon Alchemist, but yeah.
Dungeon Alchemist, is that the 3D one?
I had one
yeah,
of them.
you can actually make 2D maps with it too, but I've been liking it a lot.
Ooh.
Like they have a lot of assets, so like there you go. Technically,
Yeah,
it's 3D, but technically 2D map. Hold on, where are you
Problem
guys?
is that I've invested an awful lot of time into the game already, into making character sheets and other fucking stupid stuff that hasn't even been used yet. And I can't be fucked to make maps, so I just buy them. I know it's shitty. I already pay, like, I literally pay £50 a year just to have access to fucking Roll20, and I hate it. Because as a GM, I've already maxed out the free shit. I maxed that out years ago. So I'm like, okay. Oh yeah, sorry, I've got Dungeon Painter Studio. That's the one I've got.
Yeah, that's the one I have as well.
But I find it a lot
Cheap.
easier just to go and pay like £2 and get a set of maps. I know I shouldn't give Roll20 any more money, but I'm lazy.
Check out the Dungeon Alchemist and just see the gifts on the start page, and you'll see why I like it.
45 quid!
Yeah, but it's really fucking good.
No way! No! No!
I mean, that's quite cheap for a map pack.
No.
Map
Just-
software.
So,
Just check it out. Not only that, when I bought it, it was actually cheaper because it went on sale. So
you can get it on sale. Yeah, okay. You can get it on sale, which would make it a lot cheaper. But I don't like paying Roll20 more money. However, there are some really good people on there who make awesome maps.
Hang on. The $45 is I think it's either American or Brazilian. It's actually it's only £32. It's okay.
Yeah, that would be in dollars.
No. That's in dollars because for me it was $85.
Yeah, fuck hell yeah, never mind. Jesus Christ, I forgot about fucking Brazil's income tax, not income tax, entertainment tax.
Dude, I imported a garlic keychain as a joke to my girlfriend, and I actually had to pay taxes to import it.
Fucking hell.
Jim already told you about the import tax I had to pay on the book I got myself.
This is true, and it was from England. England to Europe, and it was like the same price as a book. Yeah, that's...
But the thing is, Albie, I bought the garlic keychain for $20, my currency, and I had to pay $32 of import tax.
Fucking hell!
So I beat you for a little bit over there.
So as an example, the Screaming Valley. The Screaming Valley has been made up of one map set, and that cost me £3. And I literally have the amount of stuff it gives you is really good. It gives you a load of maps with, again, some of the maps have water on, some of them don't. So you're getting a lot of duplicates. But for a couple of pounds, like the money I would have, the time I would have invested to make those maps would have been a lot more than well, actually, I've got a map on here, which is for an archaeotech facility, that took me 4 hours to make. I sat there, I got high, and I made a map, and it was... yeah, it was 4 hours of just getting pre-made shit and putting it together. It wasn't even like me making it.
If you're really lazy, Dungeon Alchemist actually has an AI algorithm to make automatic rooms automatically for you, and you can just fiddle with shit later. So
fucking sales assistant Jim here for fucking.
Look, man, when I like stuff,
you should be getting a percentage of the sales.
Dude, it's just that when I like stuff and I think it's really cool, I try to sell it because I don't know, I like it.
No, I will.
Like, just look at the gifts.
Profits.
So I will put
I
forward.
wish.
There is a group. There's a couple of people on Roll20 who I have bought a lot of their stuff because their stuff is particularly high quality. So with the Warhammer Fantasy game, a lot of the maps from that game all came from the same person, and they were all really, really good. And it probably cost me like £10 to have 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 4 or 5 map bundle packs. I think all of Mordehem was made by this dude's one. It's like Nick Knight or something like that. Yeah, his maps were really good, and I find it quite easy. I could just look at the maps and go, that'll work for this situation. That will work for this situation. Otherwise, I get a bit too. What's in my head has to be made by me, and then I spend hours just fucking around. Like, no, it has to be like this. It has to move that over there. Put that, and yeah, I waste too much time. So yeah, at the moment, I just buy maps.
Yeah, my biggest difficulty is finding assets I can use.
Again, if you go on Roll20's site, they do have a lot of really
meant for,
good people.
map.
who
I meant
make
for
stuff.
map making.
The good thing is, and I don't know, this might work on Dungeon Alchemist and Dungeon Painter Studio. They have assets. You might be able to import them in. So like the different stuff that comes with the map. That might be importable. But yeah, basically, I either need to go through all the maps that I already have to create 2 new villages, or I need to go and buy 2 new map packs. I can probably make the farming village, to be honest with you, and the other village I could probably make. I'm just lazy as fuck at the moment. Yeah, I made the other one because I thought it, well, it had part to do with another quest as well. So, oh, these two line up. That's nice. But yeah, for now, is there anything else you'd like to do at the Ecclesiarchy's place? Are there any resources you want to try and grab? Anything you want to? I don't want to like tell you.
I kind of want to say we can guarantee you. We can guarantee the blacksmith ores like immediately because I when I cleaned out the warehouse, there was ore there to be used, right?
Stockpiles.
So
yes.
I can guarantee some ore immediately. Like I can kind of describe some of it there for him. Like I can bring some of this to you now. But will you make an upfront payment for it, or do you want to inspect the quality art? Like, can I convince him to make an upfront payment for some of the ore?
Yes, you can. So we are looking at. Would it come under stone or would it come under? So that's plates, beam, iron. That's not ore. So yeah, I believe what you're trying to sell, Heinrich, would come under basic. It wouldn't really be basic. Oh, actually, no, it would be basic metals. Iron,
It would be basic metal.
crude.
It's fundamental or foundation metal.
Yeah, so they've got basic metals, advanced metals, and exotic metals. So yeah, it would be basic. So you'd be looking at. I do need a road a commerce check.
You'll never guess what I bought before this session.
The basic cost per material is 30 thrones.
You're right.
Now, it does say here that that's plate, beams of iron, steel, crude.
That's material. Is there like a raw sources or raw resources there?
That's the thing. That would come under stone. That would come under common stone. Or is there a... The rest of it's wood.
Is this... Hang on. I think I know what this document you're using
material
is.
cost is actually is one of the handouts that I gave you. It's from the
Yeah.
Rogue Trader. So
I'm just trying to
material
think, 'cause
cost in
I think I remember
thrones.
seeing that in one of the fucking.
Yeah, it's in the core Rogue Trader book. But if you go, so
What
if
is a
you
rope for your book?
open up players handouts, Getty. So the top
Yeah.
one,
Okay.
there's
I see it, I see
material cost at the bottom by languages. It either comes in at a stone because it's unrefined, or it's a basic metal. So it's either 10 thrones or 30 thrones. If you give a commerce check, then depending on...
Can I?
Yep.
Can I pose? So you have stone and then you have exotic stone. Can I pose that ore would fall between the two of them at say 20 to 25?
So what I'm going to put my argument at would be I'm going to put it between, which is basically exactly what you said, basic metals and common stone. So depending on your commerce check, he'll pay you it at 10 thrones per or 30 thrones per.
Okay. Come on.
Kid.
Jenkins, please give me.
Oh, buddy. Good roll.
That's a really good roll. I'm going to tell you now, I rolled a 14.
Fuck.
So I rolled really well, but I don't think his target is nearly as high as yours. Your target
I have 71 target.
Yeah, his target is nowhere near as high as yours. So you have 1 in degrees of success. So I think he has got the +1. He's probably got 3 degrees, whereas you've got 5 degrees. So he will pay you for the first supply. So this isn't a constant supply run.
Yeah, this is a one-off supply run.
One-time payment. He will pay you 30 thrones per ore that you deliver.
Okay. Right. So 30 thrones. What? So okay, hang on. So I'm writing this down. Right. So rather than accept that in thrones, is there any way he is? What would he barter for that? That's roughly 30
this is
thrones.
This is where it's going to be. We're going to keep the thrones, only because then you can look at the core rulebook and go, a common sword is 10 thrones or 30 thrones.
Right. Okay.
Then you can go, okay, so we're getting 30 thrones. We can buy this, and this. However, he is going to put a max limit on this deal. He's going to say that this will only be for between 20 and 30 ores.
20 and 30 ores?
Yes. So...
do I know if I have enough of that?
You know you have a stockpile of ore. You don't exactly know how much ore exactly, but you were in there and you did organize it. So, can I get a... it might be a commerce check, or would it be... I mean, evaluate would be for the quality of the item. Come on, there we go. Okay, so it wouldn't be the skill that would best be... Well, actually, logic would be a good one, to be honest with you. Logic would be a good one.
No, I don't think so.
Is there another one? Again, evaluate, I would almost put down, because you did evaluate the warehouse's stockpile. Let me have Oh no, it's been so slow. I wanted to click on the I to see if it said like evaluate also determines quantity of things.
Don't click on it. Just hover over it.
Yeah, no, my computer's, well, it's very slow. It's not loading them up.
Evaluate. The explorer uses evaluate to determine the approximate value of an object or group of items. Success reveals the item's availability modifier. Additional degrees of success will give additional information about the objects. A failure results in miscalculation of the item's true value. The degrees of failure increasing with the degree of error increasing with each degree of failure. The difficulty of the test should be adjusted for the explorer's access to the item and the time allowed by the seller. Using evaluate on large cargoes requires an extended test, though the explorer can appraise single items in about a minute. Also, evaluate can be used at the GM's discretion to assist with determining the requirements for endeavors. This is technically an endeavor.
I would probably put then evaluate would be the best skill that we can roll for your. Okay. Again, I would say logic, evaluate. I think they're the only two really that kind of make sense.
I think I only pass the threshold to purchase plus 10 to my evaluate at the start of the session, so I can't do it now.
I would posit that you should get a plus 20 on your evaluate, because again, you're only trying to remember how much ore is there when you went into the warehouse and evaluated how many resources were there. That's where my brain is trying to go with it.
His payment of 30 is for
between 20 and 30 lumps of ore. So with 4 degrees of success, Heinrich, you would pretty closely gather that there's at least, you did use some of it, but then there's a constant supply coming back. So you'd imagine there's between 60 and 80 parcels. We'll call it a parcel of ore.
I'm going to say units if that's all right.
Units works perfectly fine. Units, parcels.
Okay.
Between 60 and 80 units. Yeah.
So he's going to give me 30 thrones for 30 units, or between 20 and 30 units, right?
Yes.
So if
between 6 and 900 thrones.
So he's
right?
going
between 6 and 900. Yeah.
Wait. Say that again.
Between 600 and 900 thrones.
So it's 30 per unit.
Yeah, per unit. Yeah.
Okay. Holy shit, that's more than I thought. Hang on. I don't know, for some reason I thought 30 was the total, but I keep forgetting. No.
Yeah,
Thrones is a much smaller denomination to fucking profit factor. Hang on.
Yeah, and it does say on the sheet, also the handout, it's thrones per item. So when it says 30, it's 30 thrones per or unit.
So yeah, so we have a roughly 60 to 80. He wants anywhere between
20
to 30. Right. We can provide that. I can provide him the 30. I can safely say we can provide you the 30 if he wants to give me the 900 thrones, and I will immediately spend those. You know what? I'm going to show a goodwill. I'm going to give him a 10% discount. Take 90 off that. So it's 810. And then I'll immediately use some of that to reinvest back into it so that I can get some equipment out of it as well, like immediately.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
Make sense?
Yeah, no, he's perfectly happy doing that.
Okay. So basically, we have 810 thrones to spend. And then whatever's left over.
I've just realised.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's all correct. I've just realised the thrones are on a different game.
Yeah, they're in Dark Heresy.
Yeah.
If you use because most of the standard gear is already in.
Dark Heresy.
Are already the same between both Dark Heresy First Edition and Rogue Trader. If you use the armory table, which I should have pinned in one of the other channels.
Yeah.
It gives you like all of it anyway.
Yeah, I've got most of it. Well, I mean, I've got all the books and everything as well. Yeah, I've got most. I can get the prices. That's perfectly fine. I just, for some reason, I thought it was in the Rogue Trader book, but it's not. It's in the.
Oh no, because
version.
Rogue Trader uses the primitive version of the requisition
Yeah.
chart, so it uses against your profit factor.
Is it Izmir that I put it down? I think it was Izmir. So
Can I have my first profit factor?
no, think about it.
Damn.
So I believe I'm not 100% on this, but I believe, for example, a longbow is 20 thrones. That might be wrong. That might be
Sword
correct.
is 15. A longbow. Has he been able to produce solid projectile, or is he still just relying on simple weapons?
They may or may not have a stockpile of ammunition. No one's really asked about that.
True.
But
A bow is 10.
Oh,
10 thrones.
Okay, so my numbers here are, and maybe I corrected them for Izmir because it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah,
Izmir
it makes
was meant
sense
to be
that
more expensive, so maybe I adapted it. But
yeah,
yeah.
Crossbow is 10 thrones apparently.
The ammo, they may have some. Ammo will be more expensive than what the book says. So ammo at the moment will probably be a 3 times modifier. Once the power's back on, it'll maybe be a 2 times modifier. Once you're in control, it'll be a 1 time, or the price.
Okay.
All the simple weapons, he'll sell to you at the price that it says in the book.
So, Jim, real quick. That ammunition you use, what is it made out of? Is it magnetic like iron? Or is it like fucking tungsten rods or some shit?
I'm pretty sure it's a magnetic alloy. I have to recheck it, but hold on.
Oh, for the Tau weapon.
Yeah.
So the Tau's weapon is a fuel rod, essentially. It's a sphere of fuel that once it goes into the Tau's gun turns that fuel pellet into plasma and then uses electromagnetic and fires the plasma ball into the enemy. The ball
Silicon
itself
steel
is
ferrite.
Yeah.
Yep, that thing right there.
Shit. Okay. So we can't get him to craft any of those for us. I was going to say, like, if you can, like, make a portion off to one side to get you, like, pulse weapon ammo.
No, something like
but...
that will be out of there because it's not Archaeotech. They may not actually have any idea of how Tau ammo is made. It might be beyond their weapon technology. Because as far as I'm aware, even Dark Age plasma technology is on a completely different design to Tau plasma technology. Because Imperials uses a gas,
thing I can think of.
Whereas Tau uses a solid.
The only one I can think of is the Gauss weapon, but that's a Gauss weapon, so it's not actually plasmifying the actual projectile. It's just launching tungsten rod.
Yeah.
You know, the Tau weapon's a little bit different.
Yeah. I use the gas, and then the silicate steel is the silicate steel is basically a primer as well.
As far as I'm aware, it's a bit like a fuel rod. There's a battery that turns the fuel into plasma and uses the magnets to launch it. But the actual fuel pellet itself is a lot like what was that space program that we were all watching? The Expanse? Yeah, The Expanse. Yeah. You know where they drop the fuel pellets into the reactor to get the it's kind of like that. It's a round ball pellet that's the fuel for making the plasma. But it's metallic so that the magnets can launch it out the gun before it melts the gun. So that's why
Okay.
it has pen, because it's a solid projectile surrounded by plasma.
It's
That was
a
my
high
understanding
speed.
of it.
It's a high speed plasma projectile.
Yeah, that was my understanding of it, of why it's not just the plasma that burns, it's also the metal pellet that hits you that has some
What
oomph
the
to
hell
it.
is it? What is a deuce pistol?
A douche. Pistol?
Deuce. DEUCE.
Wouldn't that be
Or
a
an
twin
Deuce.
pistol? A deuce? A deuce is
I
normally
think so.
twice. So it's a twin pistol?
I think it is a type of dueling pistol. It's in the Inquisitor's Handbook.
It might be a
It's-
dueling pistol.
It's kind of like a cheaper. It's not actually cheaper. Hang on. It's a better flintlock pistol.
So I will add, it is common on the rarity of things that you can buy gun wise. So all primitive armor and weapons. When it comes to guns and ammos, it's all common slug guns, pistols, and basics.
I'm thinking we can get a hold of some, like, they're mainly using like butcher knives, right? Aren't they? In Izmir?
Yeah, Izmir. It's all cleavers that you got off the Shadowkin.
Yeah, but they're actual, like, before we got a hold of those weapons for the Shadowkin, it was primarily like
Yeah, it was really
hunting knives. Fucking,
yeah, it was
not even
really
hunting,
like
but,
again hunting spears. It was a jagged piece of metal, you know, on the tip. They had really shitty knives. You improved it by making the forge there, but the way that they're crafting it is still kind of
they're
primitive.
more akin of like a rather than a proper sword. It's more akin to like a shoddy, not really shoddy, but at least like a machete type weapon now, right?
Yeah, and it's more along the lines that they are pouring the metal and then making the blade, whereas this blacksmith
Right.
is drawing the metal out and making a proper blade.
Right.
So the durability and everything. This dude, if you asked him to make you a master-crafted sword, he could make you a master-crafted sword. It would just take him weeks.
Isn't this where our smith and blacksmith came from, right? This town.
No. So the smith and the miner came
Smith and the miner, that's it.
came from an area over. It's like over here to further down towards the wastelands kind of area. It came from here, but they traded or saw the Sky Tower and met traders from the Sky Tower to know that there was a tower there, but they weren't welcomed. They weren't like, oh yes, come over to our place. It was more of they met scavengers from the Sky Tower who had left and looked for resources or gone hunting and had met them that way. Yeah, the smith and the miner are more the wasteland, the uncharted territories just before it.
Okay.
Again, so when you look at the swords that the blacksmith provides you, Heinrich, you can see that there is a clear style in his blades, and all of his blades can be made kind of identical. Whereas in Izmir, yeah, they can make machetes identical because they're basically pouring it into a crappy mold and then hammering it a little bit and sharpening it. But if you ask the Izmirian blacksmith to make you 10 identical swords, he would struggle. Whereas this dude would make 10 easy.
That's a kind of limitation on the tools they currently have, though. To be fair,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, in Izmir, it's like if you brought the smith to the Sky Tower, he could improve his skills through learning and having better tools, and then go back to Izmir and improve the crafting there. It's just at the moment they don't have the teaching to know all about sword crafting, whereas this dude clearly
What?
has got all the knowledge to make amazing swords.
What about spears?
Spears can be made. If you wanted to get a load of spears from here, that is possible.
Spears and swords are the same.
You can also get
are the
mono.
same damage and same cost.
You can also get mono here if you power up the mono facility.
Fucking hell! For 50, we can get bastard swords.
So yeah, this is definitely if you want to upgrade the Izmirians, particularly, remember, you guys are going to have NPCs that you're going to control.
Yeah.
So if Cooney wants to have a couple of, bastard sword wielding, heavy armored inbreds to protect her from anyone who gets close, this is where you would buy the equipment and equip them.
What kind of armor and shield can we get? Are we able to get shields from this guy, or even if they're just like partially reinforced wooden shields? Or
shields are available of wood or metal.
So, just for quick reference, in here the primitive shield is 25. What would a metal shield be on top of, or what would a metal shield be? Or is it basically the same thing?
I believe the tower shield is 35. I can't.
Tower shield.
I can't.
Oh yeah, no. Sorry, yeah, they have two types of tower shield. The metal tower shield is. It doesn't say, but a wooden tower shield is 40.
Okay, so I'd probably double it then.
Right, makes sense.
Does it have?
I don't know.
Does it have the other bonuses with it?
Oh yeah, no. Metal tower shield is +1 damage if used as a melee weapon. It's still defensive. It imposes -2 to your agility bonus and has +8 AP rather than the +6 AP.
Yeah, so I'd probably double it then.
Okay. What do you think? Should we get a? I'm thinking if I can create an actual quote unquote police force or like a policing force for Izmir. So like some spears and shields as like their starting equipment plus whatever like cleaver and whatever as their preferred weapon, right?
I completely agree. The thing that I was actually thinking is if we clear the places that we want to make outposts, having like 8 guys staying there with actual plate mail and bastard swords would be a lot safer than just how they are currently.
Yeah. Feudal plate is about 120 according to this. I'm sure you can up that quite substantially to actually get a hold of an actual fucking cost of that. Oh, heavy plate mail is 300 thrones.
So yeah, the Izmirian Bloodskinners currently have short cleavers, spears, and knives. And their armor is leather and hide.
Right. Plus their mutation.
Yeah, plus their leathery skin. And I believe the Bloodskinners are your standard combatants. I'll check the Izmirian citizens. Civilians, citizens. Yeah. Come on, roll 20. I pay you good money. Load the fucking... There we go. Damn, I pay money for this service and it's still slow. There we go. Oh no, the civilians don't actually have any equipment. And then you've got entertainers and you still have some scum. technically,
Yeah.
in Izmir, but they have like scythes at the moment, I believe.
Scythes, all right. Albie, what do you think? Should we? What kind of equipment should we make for an actual like tasking force for us to make use of? Will there be actually a policing force or a force if we want to use for? Oh, hey, jump on! Going to drop you here for like 2 days while we get people back and forth to actually proof this place.
Just sort of. They also have guns here too, right?
They can make guns here. If you wanted to buy a gun at this moment in time,
Knowing how
it's going to be a lot more
Winchester,
expensive.
testing.
Yep.
Knowing
Go
how the Winchesters like to do battle, I think we should just give them some sticks, perhaps a metal rod or something.
I'm just
to charge.
I'm more thinking about future proofing because technically speaking, having people with guns too would make things a lot safer.
Spears have always been considered one of the simplest weapons to utilize as well, because it is just all right. Stay back and just keep poking at them.
Yeah,
I mean, they can
And
make
tower shield as well.
they
On top of
can
that
make
is
their own
like,
shields. They can make their own spears because all the Izmirians already have spears. So you
right.
wouldn't need to
Okay.
equip them with that. But if you wanted them to have a sword that has defensive quality to it, is it defensive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Defensive.
That would have to
Balance,
come.
Sorry.
Balance, that's the one. You would have to get it at the Sky Tower or train up the smith at Izmir.
Trade up or just get him better equipment.
Yeah, trade him up. Just take him in, sell him, get the Sky Towers one. He would then be able to upgrade your stuff passively, but that will take time.
Yeah.
If you want items like, again, swords are a good one because you get an additional bonus to them. The shields are good because they give extra defense, and currently they only have leather armor. All the basic primitive armors this place can make. So you could fully upgrade a couple of Izmirians. You could upgrade yourselves. Again, it's entirely up to you how you spend your money. But I just wouldn't buy anything that they can make it in Izmir. That's the only thing.
I think we should get at least 4 sets of armor, tower shields, and maybe swords.
So swords 15, tower shield is 40, and gear wise, armor wise.
So how much would be our total profit again?
Oh, so we got 810.
810. Okay.
So 800. That's with the 90% discount. Or not 90%, 10%. Fucking hell, 90. Taking the 90 off at the 10% discount. So that's 810.
Currently, you're doing 55 per Izmirian.
Yeah, for the sword and shield. For the sword and shield, that's 55, and then if you want to add on, there's a chain coat, which gives you body, arms, and legs 3 AP, which is 50.
So 105 per Izmirian.
105. That's quite the. They can make their own shields, just not tower shields, right?
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
They can probably make the basic shields if you show them. I don't know if they're making shields at the moment. Let me just heavy. Izmirian mining settlement. I don't see why they couldn't make a shield. It's not exactly, Yeah, it's not on the
Not exactly
list,
rock.
but it's not. Yeah, I think even an inbred could make a shield, and your blacksmith isn't an inbred, so
Yeah. I'm currently wearing what? Composite armor?
I believe everyone except from Cooney is wearing the pirate composite.
Yeah.
Blade?
Salvage composite armor.
Yeah, with a black coat, I believe.
So if we drop the tower shield and just say the chainmail, the chain coat, and the sword, so that's 65. Um, we could get potentially 12 out of it if we want to use the entirety of it. If we want to hold off on stuff on ourselves, we could probably lower that. So we can get up to like 6 guys. So for 6 guys, 65 times 6 is 390, which will leave us with 420 left over. If we wanted to use it on ourselves.
I think that's good. I don't think I currently need any upgrades because with Coney, the thing that I will need, I need to learn how to use the basic weapons, the basic solid projectile, so I can start using Imperium-based weaponry because I will run out of bullets. So,
yeah,
but I think that the near future, I don't need anything bought for me. So unless you guys need upgrades, if you guys need upgrades, use the money on yourselves. Then what's left over, I'd say, let's equip a few Izmirians.
Right. Cray, is there anything you want or need from this area?
Not at the moment. I would like to use this
ammunition.
area.
He did say we can get ammunition, but it's at a premium, so we're getting like what, 2 times, 3 times the cost.
3 times.
I mean, I could work on my scrap automatic.
The scrap automatic is specialist ammo. If you show it to them, maybe.
You see Trey going to the vehicle, pulling over the scrap automatic, or rather pulling out the bullet of the scrap automatic and showing it.
This. Do you know how much ammo costs?
It's like 1 throne? 2 thrones?
1 throne for 20. 1 throne for a box of 20.
Yeah.
For like bullets, shotgun shells, stuff like that. It's
That's
like
all
upwards of 10, 15 for like las weapons and stuff like that.
That's all the basic weaponry. The specialist ammo is more expensive, but the standard slugs, it is really cheap. They're making a premium on it. But again, they only have common weapons. So if you look at a stub revolver, it's common. They'll have that ammo. And they'll be able to provide
shotgun shells. Oh, I need shotgun shells. I might pay 6 thrones to get 40 shotgun shells. I'm happy enough with that.
You can do that. They're perfectly happy with that. With Cray's scrap automatic, they tell you that it is a specialist ammo, and they are not willing to sell it. Not at this time. He will imply.
Fine, I'll make my own.
He will imply that they do have some in stock. Maybe once you increase your reputation with the town, they will sell. But at the moment, he'd tell you that he'd want 60 thrones per shot.
Fucking hell.
Might be better to wait. Just
That's
saying.
what he wants at the moment because they are that special. However, yeah, once you complete a few of the quests, that will probably come down.
You have an auto gun, don't you? Or like an auto. We have some kind of auto
Ray
weapon.
has las weapons, as far as I'm aware.
Oh no! It was the fucking.
It was
the psyker that had the auto pistol.
It was Unit who had an auto pistol.
Yeah. Shit.
But yeah, Heinrich, he's more than happy to sell you some shotgun shells. That's perfectly fine.
Nice. Yes. Hello.
So we putting down at the moment, you are getting 6 swords and 6 chainmail shirts.
Yeah. So far, 6 chainmail coats and 6 swords.
Coats,
and
that's the one.
yeah, they're technically coats, which means they cover chest, arms, and legs. And the 2 boxes of shotgun shells, which leaves us at 414 to spend or take.
Do they have any helmet?
Talk real quick. I'll be right back.
Helmets, they... Ooh. Yeah, I should imagine they do have helmets. I don't know how much they would be, because I can't remember. I don't... Do you buy helmets separately? Yeah, how much they got? They probably do, Ray. If you can find a price for a helmet, as long as it's primitive, then yes, they will have it and they will sell it to you.
Remind me again which books we used for the pricing.
It is Inquisitorial's Profiteer. It is the Dark Heresy First Edition book, the one we used for the Dark Heresy game. I'm just going to have a look at Rogue Trader to see if there is a helm.
The handbook or the profiteer?
The Profiteer. Yeah, the Inquisitorial Profiteer is the one that it is. I can tell you at the moment, it looks like a feudal or a primitive. They don't have any head, which is weird because feudal world plate is all. Yet they don't sell the helm separately.
They don't have a separate helmet? Okay.
No, they don't. They haven't broken it down. The only one I can see here is the flak helm, and they won't have that here. You might have to find.
Also, I can't seem to find the Inquisitor Profiteer.
No, Inquisitorial Handbook's the book you're looking for.
Shit, sorry.
Inquisitorial Profiteer was the game we played.
It was. Fuck.
Yeah, it was the state of that still on hold.
Yeah, that one's still on hold.
Hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah, for some reason, they have a carapace helm separately. They have a mesh cowl separately. They have a flak helm separately. They do not have a primitive one separately.
There is no primitive helmet in the game.
There is. The feudal world plate comes with a helmet.
Apart from feudal plate and heavy plate armor, which are both all locations, not just head.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing else has just fucking helmet.
Yeah, and they didn't break it down to sell it separately. So.
Yep. Go for Mercer's Greaves. Mercer's Greaves are primitive leg armor that allow you to kick like you have brass knuckles. Because they're like spiked boots.
Yeah, but I have like armor.
Yes, but is it 4 leg armor?
If you want
No,
to...
3.
Oh, actually, you wouldn't be able to do that. So yeah, for now, there is no helmet that you can buy. I may have to work on that.
Can I make an argument that we divide the heavy plate divided by 5?
Yeah, I was going to say that, divide it by 5, and you could technically get a few
Or
doors.
4? 4, actually. Since it's 4 locations.
Oh yeah, arms. Because again, it's not one
Head,
arm,
arms,
2
body,
arm.
legs.
It's I would probably say yes, you can. However, it is going to take a bit of time for the blacksmith to hammer it out and make sure that it fits your head. So, if you wanted to buy it, Cray, and then put a note down that when you return to Izmir, you can have it, because by the time 6 days, he could probably retrofit it to fit your skull.
We'll go and come back and with the head schematics of the inbreds for them to get
No,
helmets
this is
with
for
later.
Cray. This is for Cray. He could do that then. Actually,
For Cray as well.
you do have 2 inbreds in the town at the moment, so they could be stand-ins for approximate body size.
This is the standard. Add like 10% on like both sides. Not 10%, sorry. Like add like 3% on both sides all the way around, and that'll be like the standard helmet. It's like the army. There's 2 sizes in the army: too big or too small.
Exactly. But yeah, if we're about ready, then what we'll do is we will end the episode off here. And in the next episode, you'll be heading off to Village 1, Lost Village 1, and then back to Izmir. So, yeah, any extra money that you have, keep it in your character sheets. Ideally, in one character sheet, so you're not all like, I have 414. How do you all have 414?
I think we put that in the cart.
Yeah, marvelous. And yeah, so we'll end the episode off here, and in the next episode, the group will be going off on a little adventure to explore and to acquire some more things. So, I certainly hope you've enjoyed this episode and are looking forward to future episodes to come. Who knows, maybe this episode will get 60 views. I know I've only been doing YouTube for like 5 years now, and I get excited over 60 views. It's a sad case of affairs, but it's fine.
Hey, man, you even got one guy to say prick, so hey, you can do it.
Did I actually get someone to... Did I? Yeah, it was probably you, Jim. So
Well, it was, but hey.
see, I knew it. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I certainly hope you've enjoyed, and looking forward to the future episodes to come. Yeah, take care, everyone, and as always, bye-bye for now.
Bye.
See ya.